Yep.
Excellent. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Starseed Activations. Thank you. Today, we are going to be joined by Mary Jing. Mary Jing, say hello to everybody.
I'm sorry. Hello, everybody.
We always have to start out with some fun smiles and laughter. Thank you, everyone, for coming. We get the giggles. Okay, so we are going to start with an Om. Now, what an Om does is it allows us to open and expand our hearts, and it allows us all to come into alignment with our higher self and with unconditional love. And so, for each person watching, including you, Mary, just take a deep breath in. And one more deep breath in. Thank you, dear star people, for assisting us in this channeling tonight. Excellent. Welcome. Yes. So Mary's going to ask some questions. She's got a little list.
The first question that I have for you is, do you think it is possible that we as light workers are leaving our bodies in our sleep state and going to other souls who are still asleep and sending our light into their heart, and also sending our light around the grid where they are to wake them up? And when we go to sleep.
Absolutely. So there's something called the dream walker ability, which is during the dream states, each individual, dear ones, has the potential to activate the lucid realm. During this realm, you are able to interdimensionally communicate with any other individual in your simulation. This then allows for other adjustments to their energetic grids to fully come into alignment with what you are encoding. This may simply look like a removal of any densities, any distortions, as well as making internal circumstance changes for said individual. Some individuals may contain traumatic emotions. Each of you are able to go inside your own frequency and allow for any changes or modifications to the secondary individuals. We do wish for each of you to utilize this ability in love and light. Many times, humanity has done this automatically through the power of prayer. However, dear ones, different modifications may also come to light. And these modifications allow for personality shifts or changes. This may also allow for different memories to be encoded or removed. And this is also part of your multidimensional ability. For each of you is available to shift any secondary person because they are merely a reflection of your own frequency. Thank you, star people.
Okay. I was also going to ask you about this new post, the empath projector.
Okay.
Did you want me to read the whole post?
Read the part that you feel called to read. Let me see. Was that the new one from the new book? No, that was the flow state.
Yeah, this one I said I was going to read the whole.
Do it, my love.
Okay.
So what she's reading is she's reading a post from the new book, Keys to My Ascension. That one is not. It's almost published. So go ahead and.
An empath is an individual who can feel or sense others people's emotional state. An emotional projector is an individual who can control the emotional state of the secondary individuals by broadcasting their own independent emotional frequency outwards. Emotional resonance is a magnetic field each individual casts outward from within the heart chakra. By controlling your own internal state, you are able to generate a type of energetic signature in your own bio and energetic fields, which shall then resonate into all people, plants, and items around you. Controlling this field all starts from within your heart. For the more love you can feel and resonate outwards shall shift all things surrounding the self into more positive alignment. This is a great potential to shift our outer world. You are therefore perceiving. I guess that's good right there. Maybe
Yeah.
you can talk about it a little bit.
So when we see someone who's very charismatic, they are holding a high magnetic emotion. That magnetic emotion then attracts other individuals to them. Now, each individual watching here, you all have the ability to change or modify your magnetics. These magnetics notify you through magnetite crystals located within the brain of any pending weather distortion. Your magnetics can shift into a love light based frequency, which then in turn has the potential to radiate outwards, thus affecting the weather, generating a more positively aligned weather frequency. But it does not stop there, dear ones. For any attachments, densities, or distortions can also be released by any magnetic that you implant within your frequency. One such manifestation of this ability would be to energetically cast all people around me are healed into your aura field. This, then, dear ones, is going to start a manifestation of any person who steps into your range will then, in turn, start to feel lighter. They may start to feel their highest potential passion start to flow. Any attachments may automatically discharge off of their field. For you then are setting an intention into your energetics. Allow that emotion code to fully resonate into your physical reality. For you may also cast different emotion codes. And these such emotion codes may generate a cleaner earth. It may generate clean water for all. It may activate unity consciousness. The limitations are only set by the primary individual. Each of you may start to energetically project these thought forms into your energy field. This, in turn, starts the process of a higher awareness of your manifestation abilities. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just people.
Um, the next one is the multidimensional nature of manifestation gifts, which is in my Ascension Guide.
Yes. That one is page 185 for everyone watching who has the book.
I had to turn on my little light so I could see.
That's okay. Take your
It's
time.
this paragraph right here.
Okay.
The process of manifestation is greatly helping to speed this up. Many of you have sent manifestations out to bring magic to people of Earth and allow all humans to hold an open heart chakra. That is a game changer for all of humanity, and magical ability may be achieved during this process. The normal process of activating a new ability is the belief that you may achieve that gift. This may also include running the fastest mile in certain time. You may break a world record. It must start with the belief pattern that then it shall manifest into your reality.
Yes. So, first, you have to believe you can fly before you're going to be that bird who leaps out of the nest, right? There had to be that
Yeah.
person who believed I could beat the world record of running the mile the fastest. But then the second that that one person broke the mile, you had all these other people step forward and they did it again and again as well. So, we really, it only takes one person to activate any extrasensory ability, and then the second that other people see it, it actually grants them the ability of activating it more rapidly because they've seen someone else do it. So it's very similar to that, as we've all heard the phrase seeing is believing. Many people are still stuck in that construct where they have to see something to believe it. But in order for the first person to manifest it, they have to believe it in order to see it. And now what happens is that we all fine tune our energetics and we magnetically align that manifestation into our physical reality. So the second that we are formed and we know that we are going to manifest this, it automatically starts a process of manifesting the people, places, and things that we need in order to allow us to manifest onto that timeline. Every single moment of your waking life, it is all a form of a simulation. And that form of simulation is projected from within the heart. When we learn to fully step into the heart and we are able to change your internal circumstances, you are able then to change what you see in your physical reality. For dear ones, any extrasensory ability is readily available for each of you to manifest into right now. Time and space is simply an illusion. This is why we consider it a simulation construct. However, it is more complex than just that, dear ones. Your electrical magnetic grids is what changes or modifies the outer world as you see it. Any ability to shift the outer world must always come from within. Beautiful. Thank you.
Awesome. Um, can you excuse me for 1 second?
Absolutely.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Oh, that's fun. Okay, let's see. So, do you guys have any questions? Okay, so we have, let's see. I believe what you're saying. I joke with strangers, my aura, and none of them take me the wrong way. See, the aura field, we can actually we can see it and sense it with different scientific technologies. So we know that the heart generates a form of electricity. When we have to restart the heart, they use electricity to restart it. So we know for a solid fact that the body contains a type of voltage. Now, in on Earth here, they call that the chi energetic systems in certain cultures. Now, the chi energetic systems we can ground into the earth and we can rebalance, and utilizing the air elemental will also allow us to pull more energy into the body, which then in turn your emotions are magnetic in their nature. And when we start to utilize an emotion with your chi energetic systems, it allows for the entire energetic grid complex to fully come into alignment. Coming into an alignment shall then allow for different energetic castings to fully take place. For when each individual is aware of what the inside of your body truly feels like, those feelings are an emotion. There is a nervous system net that runs directly underneath the skin. Every single thought form shall trigger this nervous system net to radiate a different frequency outwards. Each crystal that you hold or each piece of food you ingest, it also triggers the nervous system net. This nervous system net casts your chi energetic systems outwards. This in turn starts to have a real solid effect on your physical reality. The same way that any individual is available to broadcast love to any plant and have that plant grow 10 times the original size, you are able to cast thought forms outwards, allowing those thought forms to then affect any item, person, or place in your reality. It is of high value to love and bless all items in your possession, for each item holds a frequency coding. Those items then will start to raise their density, which then shall reflect that new density coding back at your physical body. This then shall assist your process of evolution, dear ones, for when you are able to summon a light object, it shall allow that light and that love radiating off of it to then impact your physical form, allowing for higher densities to be perceived, to be felt, to be experienced, to allow for any manifestation that you so desire to come into your physical waking reality. And we are sending many, many love and blessings, dear ones. Thank you, Star. Yes.
Um, I know all the time that you talk about it's so good to say affirmations. Well, I say affirmations all day long. I say them when I wake up in the morning, and I feel like they have really changed my life for the better. I even say them when I do my breath work and go between my ohms. I say things. I talk to the universe all the time. I try to stay positive with everything.
Well, we don't want to spiritually bypass the darkness either. And from my personal experiences, now I'm truly blessed to have the star people placing this type of focus on me and assisting me in my healings. But I've gone through a whole imprinting process where we have, deep dive into the dark emotion codes, and we did this on specific. I wasn't aware at the time, of course, but I imprinted, it was a whole lot of dark emotion codes so that I could feel, and feeling into the nervous system net, feeling into how does that emotion code reflect back at me. So when we take any dark word and even speaking it imprints the energetic grid on the outside of the body, but actually imprinting it, we use a type of voltage. The chi energetic systems is a type of voltage along with an emotion code to then imprint whatever it is into the body. And then it starts a more solid form of manifestation in order to get me to overcome all the darkness, because this is what we do with the attachment removals when I do these sessions with people. So this is important because learning all of the darker emotion codes and overcoming them, that's it's like the slingshot way to like reach into the light realms. When you overcome a certain level of darkness, the law of polarity goes, okay, you went to the darkness to this degree, you're allowed to go into the light to the exact opposite degree. There's a center middle line in between. Now, by diving into the darkness, which is what we all do in our lifetime, we go into dark experiences, we have pain, we have fear, we have all these things, but then healing it, it allows you to go to the opposite degree of love. That's really important, because anytime that we go inwards and we think or we feel any of these emotions that we've ever experienced and we start to heal them, we can then call the positive opposite emotion. So what that
Mhm.
looks like is, if you're really sad and you go through the process of healing that sad emotion, now you slingshot and now you hold really happy. And then your entire life changes overnight. It's
Yep.
beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, I try to tell my brother all the time to stop being so negative. Like if he's on the road and he's on the phone with me,
Mhm.
he'll curse out people and stuff like that. I'm like, man, just don't do it. Don't do any of that anymore.
What the star people have me do, instead of saying stop, because stop is actually a low polarity word, they have me start saying thank you. Thank you for speaking elegantly. Thank you for having patience. Right? Thank you for being more loving to the other people around you. Believe it or not, it's actually imprinting their energetic grid. So when we get told stop, it jams up your grid. Now it's negative frequency. But when we get told thank you for being loving, now all of a
Mhm.
sudden you're cleaning their energy field, which is the same exact thing as sending them love and light. So when we start to, and believe me, it's a baby step process, right? And we may catch ourselves. That's okay too. The more we focus on it, the more we achieve the goal. So I've gone through so many different experiences in my life, quitting smoking. I quit alcohol. I quit, processed foods at a while back. All these different things I've had to one at a time let go of and release them.
Mhm.
And, the one thing that I've learned from this entire experience is really just, speak what you want to see into the reality. Thank you. Thank you for allowing all food to be healthy and clean for all of us. That's one of my manifestations, right? Even if it is processed. And thank you for always blessing our bodies, our minds, our spirits, and shining love and light to the best of our ability without trying to be perfect.
Yep.
Yeah.
I used to love and bless my body every day, but I've been slacking on that.
Release. Start up again.
I will.
Right?
I
And
will.
it doesn't take much. There's even different techniques about tapping the body. And when we tap, we're actually sending electrical magnetism, because it's a thought and an emotion, and speak the words, I love and I bless my body. The more you do that, you start to pull the densities and the distortions off of your field out of your body. And then be aware, because when you are tapping, it releases any imprints. You can also use magnets to do this, or you can also use well, voltage would be there's different types of like speaking and encoding. So the point is that the more you start to focus on your body, the more you start to release the imprints and focus on whatever thoughts come to your mind while you're doing it. Now, if you can get yourself really, really excited, like let's say you do something that makes you so excited, you're like, your energy is through the roof. In that moment, I want you to speak to your body and say, I love and I bless you, body. Thank you, body. And whatever it is, you are healed of whatever it is, because that's really when you start to imprint the cells. And the more you can imprint the cells, your cells start to rapid fire the manifestations faster than imprinting the outer grids. It's more of a direct. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, something weird happened to me yesterday. Well, when I woke up in the morning, I
Mhm.
opened my eyes and my whole ceiling was green.
Ah,
And I closed my eyes again and I blinked and then I opened them up again and my ceiling was still green.
wow.
So what I figured out was it was Archangel Raphael letting me know that he was there because I've been calling him in every night. I
Wow.
told I told people on my live last night because I had a little live on my channel about Halloween, just telling a little spooky stories,
Uh,
and I told everybody about it. But I I'm pretty sure that it was Archangel Raphael.
well, you close
Let
your
me
eyes.
know of his
How did
presence.
it feel? Right?
It
So
it felt amazing.
the way to and this is just for everybody, right? The way to really tell who it is you're channeling, it's a frequency. And so if it makes you feel amazing and loving and blissful, and the information is amazing and loving and blissful, then you are channeling a being who is of a high frequency. But if you are channeling something and you get scared or fearful, or there's, any type of low vibe you get, even if it's for a split second, you would want to like stop and question, right? Like, who is this? And then if you do get that fear, call in the angels because they always show up. I've had
Yeah.
experiences with the angels as well. And the star people, I had called in the angels when I was doing an attachment release session once. And it was well after the session was over. I was already snuggled in bed, and the star people, they told me, and I heard them like they were in the room. They were like, "You didn't release the angels." And I was like, "What?" They're like, "You can tell them it's okay for them to go." And I had no idea that we even can do that. But yeah, when we call them in, we thank them for being here, and they stick around. So they don't just leave us. And it's okay to tell them it's okay to go. Yeah.
Well, when I call in the Christ light, and when I call it in, I ask it to stay with me all day long.
Yeah, that's
So,
beautiful.
and
There's a
it's
new one.
great.
There's a new thing. And so and I've seen this work. So it's spiraling or vortexing your energetic cords up to the source frequency. So one of my girlfriends, she calls it give it up to God. And but it really is the same exact thing. The source frequency is like an energetic net. We can see it as surrounding the earth, but it's deeper than that. It's in your energy field. And whenever we make these energetic cords or tubules of people, if someone's going to get angry at us, they're sending darkness or density at us. So what the star people said was take all of the energy cords and vortex or spiral them all up and flow them through the source frequency net, so that net is pure light. Any energy cords coming from any other person, place, or thing, if it gets filtered through the light, it only allows the light inwards to you. And I swear to you, I tried this and I was like, wow, it really worked. It worked right away. You could feel it. So,
Yep.
yeah.
I'm starting to realize that all of it is working. Especially when I go take a shower, I'll call in the Christ light and say that the Christ light is coming down on me and
Yeah.
all the bad energy is going down the drain.
That's it.
Um,
That's
did you
beautiful.
want to answer any questions? If somebody asks questions, I can read them out.
Let me see if I could
I don't think
scroll.
anybody has any questions though.
I don't think anyone has questions. It's that happens a lot. It's okay. Let's see. Hi,
It's hard.
Ellie. Yeah, that's okay. I normally just see. Let's see. I had the same thing happen to me, but the whole ceiling was purple, not green. Where I put my hands
Oh,
up to
really?
purple liquid, like vortex, and there was green coming out of my hands. That's so cool. Listen, people, they see. There's always a fly. There he is. People see different things constantly. Um, I was in I was in a meditation and I felt my soul come out of my body. And then I looked at one of my night lights, which was rainbow color, like it shifted colors. So, and that's with your eyes closed, but that's seeing. And I've also had experiences of astral projecting. And I went into the center of the earth, which was molten fire, and there was fire beings down there. And of course, in the split second, I panicked. And then I was like, oh, they can't see me. And then one of the fire beings went to reach out and grab me. And it was like I snapped back in my body in a split second. But having that experience is like you can't discount anyone else's perception because who knows what they're seeing. A week later, after the fire being like situated, it was a couple weeks after the movie Constantine or the TV show Constantine came on, and the fire people in the intro was exactly what I saw. And I was like, wow. But now I'm aware how reflections work. And we may see something, it's like seeing a car. So we may see a car and then we may keep seeing that car over and over again. That's how your body is designed. That's how the alignments are designed. It's cool.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, did you want to talk about the elemental ring magic?
Yes, elemental ring magic. I just wrote another post, like literally right before. Did I tell you about it?
I don't think so.
That's so amazing that you just like you pulled that out of thin air. Right before turning on the computer, I just wrote elemental ring magic. Wait a second, let me see. Let me see if I can pull it up. I can't
Maybe
believe
I
you just
did.
said
Maybe I
that.
did tell you. Maybe I did say something.
No, I don't think I told you. Like I just wrote it, literally. It's water manifestations utilizing elemental ring magic. I just wrote it today at 8:11. So, okay, we'll deep dive into this one. The biological form is surrounded by three primary rings connected to the energetic ring complex. So these three rings are your location ring. They're your binary codex, which is your center ring. That one's like your body form. Your second ring is your location ring, and the third ring is a civilization ring. That's what that is. Each of these rings may be activated to hold an elemental frequency. Each element corresponds to a Kundalini channel related to the four cardinal directions. There are 6 Kundalini channels in total. There's a center tubule. One is light matter surrounded by dark matter. And then we have earth, air, fire, water. These are 4 primary Kundalini channels. It's all part of one system. In order to facilitate a water manifestation utilizing the elemental rings, the primary individual must focus within the body first. Activate the element is the first step. We always want to pick an element that you guys already have an attunement to. So if like you're a beach goer, pick the water. That's a good one to start with. Okay. So earth is on the left, air is in the front, fire is on the right, water is in the back. That's a spinal cord, is the water, flows through it. And you can like close your eyes and you could feel into the Kundalini channel system. This is legit, like you can feel it. It's an energy. So, and that once again, you have to go inwards. The second that you activate the Kundalini channel, now inside each of the primary chakras, there's 3 different lenses. If you guys have ever seen an atom, there's like a ring with another ring, and it's 3 different rings. Just imagine 3 different like lenses, like a microscope has a lens, or a magnifying glass is a lens. There's 3 of them and they're overlapping each other. So you could turn one this way, you could turn one this way, and the light is going to change. That's how each chakra system has these lenses. When we start to go inwards, we can activate the elemental Kundalini channel, which then it activates or amplifies that energetic of that elemental, dear ones. Then you may go into each of the primary chakras. Depending on the manifestation, is going to change the chakra focused on. So if it is something you wish to manifest in a physical form, you may wish to select your root chakra. By taking your Kundalini elemental energy and radiating it through the root chakra, you then may allow that energy to free flow into one of the outer ring systems. It may flow into your body, your location, or the civilization as a whole. And then, dear ones, when you are properly situated in all of these systems, you may then energetically cast this thought form into any body of water. This may be done with a simple glass of water, and then you may ingest that water to allow that new resonance to fully grow, expand, and activate your body. You may then start to notice the manifestation come into your physical reality according to the frequency you are holding. For dear ones, each of you has a frequency stemming from the heart, which then controls your awareness of time and space. When each of you starts to hold higher densities, it allows for very rapid manifestations to form. When you properly shift or modify your internal circumstances, it then allows for that energetic casting into that water to fully change or modify your external circumstances, which then reflect back into your physical reality. Yes. Thank you.
Beautiful. I
You
think
said there's
Russ
good.
Russ had a question. He'd like to find out what purple light does. He said he knows what light green is, healing, and white light is pure love, but what is purple light?
So purple light activates the pineal gland. I've had different experiences with friends, and we've been doing different healings. Of course, I guinea pig on all the friends. I'm like, oh, you have an attachment? Come here, let me see. Right? This is what we do. And we were doing an attachment release session, and this has happened to multiple of my friends. And they would say, "Oh, I see purple." And then that purple, I'm like, well, that's because we are activating in the pineal gland. So you're seeing that color. What it actually is your soul pushes through the energy of and each of the chakras, it resonates. So it's kind of like your light body's eyes is seeing what lens that you are focused through. This is how, and it's a good thing you asked this question, because this is how you know to activate that chakra. Many times you'll see it, or you may sense it, or you may even feel the color. So now, in order to learn how to do these things, you want to take color papers, right? And sit down and just pretend this was it's purple. Just hold the color purple on the paper and see how it makes your body feel. What we're actually trying to do here is we're sensing into the nervous system net, because every single color that we touch and hold, it changes the nervous system net. So if you can learn how the energy shifts inside of the body, you could start to identify different colors, spectrums, or frequencies outside of your body, depending on how you feel. Now, when we start to work with the nervous system net, it's very, very important to go through and heal your traumas. We had to go through and release a lot of shadow work traumas in order to fully feel inside of the body very rapidly. And then to be able to tell, okay, well, this is a crystal. This is, and you don't have to physically touch it, right? Because the crystal, just having it in your awareness, you can start to feel the change inside of the body. Then you start to notice, oh, okay, I held this crystal. It shifted my energy this way. Now I don't need the crystal. Now I could just drop in and I could say, I call forward the energy of Moldavite. And just feel how it shifts the nervous system net. It's like an energy inside of your body. Feel it shift. Hold it. And now I energetically cast Moldavite at any individual who is readily available to receive, allowing this frequency to then allow for a change or transformation to come. A very rapid healing process is available for each of you now. We wish for you throughout time and space, dear ones, to speak the words, "Yes, star people, thank you for assisting me in my shadow work." And we shall facilitate an energetic healing and clearing for you now. And we are sending many, many love and blessings, dear ones. Thank you.
Thank you, star people.
Beautiful. So anybody who would like to receive that type of energy clearing, just say the word yes. You could speak it in your mind. You do not have to speak it out loud. They can hear you. They know our thoughts. Yeah. It's beautiful.
He said, how about the yellow light?
Yellow light's the solar plexus. So that's where your inner child is, your
Yeah.
creativity. Yeah. It goes by all the chakras. But then there's also, it's like an aqua, he's saying, my starman's saying, because we have green in the lower heart chakra. It's really prominently green. And then as it comes up, it's just like an aqua color because there's actually two chakras in the heart. One is the lower place of the heart, which is why we say, I love you from the bottom of my heart. That bottom is green and it's connected into the higher self. Then the upper heart chakra is connected and there's like a blue and a green. So it's more aqua there. That one is a little bit different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have some questions.
Sure.
Um, I hope in the golden age are the kids coming with their owner's type manual.
Woo! No, no, they're not. And actually, I think if anyone thinks that there's a set rule for children, that it went right out the window. I look at my
Yeah.
kids. My children are 13 and 11, and they're unique in their own right. They're very calm, peaceful, loving people. It's very like mellow and relaxed and very chill. And every single person who interacts with my kids is like, your kids aren't like anybody else. I'm like, that's right. Because the children are reflecting any of the adults that they are learning from. So what we want to do is we want to put our kids with the brightest and best. This is what school's supposed to be. You're supposed to put your kids with the brightest and best so that they, can get an education and all that stuff. But the truth
Mhm.
is that there's more energetics behind it too. So even if a child is going to school, if that child comes home and their parents are 100% loving, caring, kind, and like patient, all of that love that you send at the child is going to reflect. So, and it changes the way everything works because when we start to, well, we already know your child is reflecting your childhood onto you. And this
Mhm.
is the process of imprinting. And this is how ancestral karma works as well. Now, ancestral karma, we know, has reached as far into the genome. So it's in the DNA. Now, that means that our genome expression either turns on or turns off different markers that allow different biological responses to manifest. This is also how the extrasensory abilities come to light, is because we're turning on and off these genome expressions. What people are stepping into the realization right now is that ancestral karma allows for experiences to manifest in the life of the child because it has happened to the adult. I've had so many different experiences and I'm like, that's happened to my mom. Totally random. And it flows through the ancestral karma. Sometimes it'll skip a generation, so you may be unaware of it. But then I look at my kids and I'm like, wow, I did that when I was young. So they are a reflection of my childhood and the energy I was holding. However, their consciousness is much different than my childhood. Because as we take a look at the history, we just for an example, our ancients, we see them going through like the dark ages, the bronze, and then we're working our way up, silver, golden, all that stuff. Every single generation flows like that. So my parents, when they were kids, they used to tell everyone the story. Oh, back in the day, we did this and this and this. It was a different place. When I was a kid, we did this and this and this. We had concrete in the playgrounds. Right? We were built of tough stuff. And my kids are like, no, we have nice, wood, and it's totally different, but the experiences are the same. They're going through the same thing from a different level of consciousness. It's not that they're softer people, but it is a more gentle, right? And the word meek, the star people are saying, they're like, the word meek means more gentler, more kind. And that's where we start to see the different generations changing and shifting. They're bringing more love. And that love is what is the biggest difference in their age bracket, because that's what's needed. We had
Mhm.
to fill the planet with loving, caring, kind children at their baseline frequencies, dear ones, for that resonates into the entire physical reality. Therefore, we were able to make a change or modification to the planetary frequency by allowing the star seeds to incarnate on your planet. This then allowed for higher frequencies of love to be energetically cast at all living things. Excellent. Thank you, star people.
And I feel that love every day.
Yes. And it's beautiful and it's blissful and it's, you know, when you get to reflect that love back is beautiful. And even if you know people are having a bad day, just to show up and smile at someone, or when you're driving by, honk at someone and smile and wave, right? It's like you don't know how your emotions impact all of the other people outside of you. So,
Or you can go sit outside and meditate, and the star people will send you love, and you can feel it through your heart. If
yes.
you ask them to, they will send it right to you.
I
That's
think
what I've
there's
been going through.
I think there's actually a post in the book. I have to go into my notepad and check, but I know that they've told me sitting out and stargazing, and we're able to look at any planet, and that planet can send us direct downloads. So that drops into the second book where they're talking about 0 points crossed in time and space. So they would take a pyramid here on Earth, and they would take a pyramid up there on a different planet, and they would cross the energy streams like this. And of course, it would only happen during certain solar alignments, which is why the ancients were all looking at the star charts, and they had to have that knowledge because they knew they were setting up different type of manifestations or even biological technology. The star people said that we can astral project and go into one of those star cross locations, and it'll recharge our light bodies. Like that's the type of things that they were doing back then. And they're still doing it now. It's just we as humanity, we're stepping into that day and age. And it's like, wow. Well, the solar alignments change the frequency of the earth, which resonates up and out the pyramid in a vortex stream. It's very tight and very spiraled up. And then it crisscrosses in different locations in the solar system. Like that's deep.
Um, Ellie has a question. Lately, been having very realistic dreams, and it seems like I am dipping into either different timelines and or different lives. Ever since been doing the Merkaba meditation.
Yeah. Yeah, that's activating of your multidimensional nature. And let me tell you something, that's only the dreams. Just wait until it starts reflecting into your physical reality and you look at your hand and you're like, wow, my hand didn't look like that yesterday. I've had instantaneous manifestations where I walked outside and things have changed inside of my house. I've seen things. I've seen time and space warp. I've seen the flicker rate, which is controlled by the heart, which is when the entire world looks like a picture with a picture behind it and a picture behind it, and it flickers like a TV, like a flicker rate. That's actually what time and space looks like when we pull ourselves and we see the awareness of time and space. That flicker rate is controlled by a tesseract cube located within the heart chakra. It's energetic in its nature. It's like a crystallized or crystalline, the star people are saying. Crystalline DNA is activated by the tesseract cube, dear ones, which is a square within a square. And it rotates and it generates a form of communication with time and space. For dear ones, each of you are able to generate a type of manifestation in which you pull your awareness throughout any moment of time and space. The way you first shall start that ability is by manifesting into your memory grids. For each of you are able to think of a memory. That memory then is a key. It shall allow access into that moment of time and space. When you practice enough keys of time and space will be granted to you. And then, dear ones, you may start to summon keys from your future. These keys are frequencies, and these frequencies allow for contact and communication with otherworldly beings as well. As always, we always advise stepping into the heart first, for all love may be broadcast and radiated outwards, allowing you only access into the highest frequencies keys. You may also call upon the angels or the star people. We are always available to help and assist. And we are sending many, many love and blessings, dear ones. Thank you.
Thank you. I love the star people.
I know, me too.
I wanted to ask you a question. I know this might sound kind of weird, but when I first started my journey, I would go outside at night and I would look up in the sky and I would like take pictures and stuff. And when I would take the pictures, I would see gigantic beings up there, and I could see them clearly. And I
Mhm.
know I'm not losing my mind. I mean, is that anybody? Or
Well, there's so many different beings, and not only that, but it's beautiful because you could take a photo and everyone's consciousness is completely different. So you could see one thing in your photo.
Mhm.
Oh, you can still see me? My screen just shifted.
Well, we could see it, yeah.
Excellent. You could take a photo and you could dive into your photo and you could see something that comes from you. That's your awareness. And then I could look at the same photo and I may not be in alignment to see what you see. And that's
Yeah.
because we all are looking at our own simulations according to your viewpoint lens, dear ones. Your viewpoints gives a very unique signature to the way that you see your physical reality. However, anytime you wish to make contact or communication with any beings, they are always right next to you, literally. It is a frequency shift of a 90-degree turn that allows for a type of physical communication. And yes, dear one, you were most certainly witnessing beings in the sky. Those beings are tied into a form of ancestral karma for you. They are here to guide and support you along your journey, and they always show up anytime you are outside. You may call upon the one. That is what they respond to. And there is one that is a purple crystalline color. She is a daughter from a past life. Beautiful.
That's my world. That's all I see. I see them up there every day. They come by my window, and I can see the cloud. It comes by my window, and I can see them up there. I start waving and sending hearts, and
It's
they
like
send me
so
hearts back.
amazing.
They send me hearts back. I have pictures of hearts that they have sent me, so
Uh,
it's crazy.
no, no, not
I love
crazy.
it.
That's beautiful, right? And this is always like they do make introductions in like a very gentle way, where it's like, hey, I'm here. You could see me. And then you have to go and you look, you become the seeker. I want to see you more. I want to talk. I want to, but the more you put your focus and attention, the more it gets real, right? Because it allows them to make further and further communication.
I know Ellie had another question. She said that her hands and her feet have been vibrating, and she wanted
Mhm.
to know if you thought that she should go to the doctor, or is it's probably the solar because I'm itching all over. I'm just sitting here trying not to itch myself, but
On the camera, right? You just love when that happens. It's okay, just itch.
yeah, it's like I'm tickling. So I don't think you should have to go to the doctor because that's
Well,
what's going on.
we're not going to, diagnose and do any of that because if you feel called, if it's that severe that you feel called to go to the doctor, you have to use your own intuition. Realize when it comes to any type of medical advice, at that point, I am a stay at home mom. I could tell you what I know as your friend, not on a camera, because God forbid someone, you know, we have to look at the way alignments work, right? So we'll take basil for an example. That's a spice, right? Basil may cure X, Y, and Z things. It may help heal, A, B, and C things as well. But you're going to come across a person that's allergic to it. So if we go and we tell you, yeah, this is a cure for that, yes, it may help 98% of people unless you're allergic to it. You have to know your alignments. And this is really where kinesiology comes into place. So there's a lady on TikTok who's doing it right now. She takes tiny little vials of like cloves or silver or whatever it is. It's all sorts of different materials. She puts it on your body and she sees what makes you strong and what makes you weak. Now that's really important because if you're eating foods that make you weak and you just are unaware of it, so we have to come in and we have to know our alignments. We do not have to ask other people. What we do have to do is have a tiny piece of the food. So let's sample something small, like say a green pepper. How did it make you feel? How did it trigger the nervous system net? Sometimes your alignments will shift. If you eat it too much, the alignment may shift, and now your body and the intuition and the cravings, it also shifts. And now your body starts telling you, let this go. I want to do this. That's because your alignments shift. So, but as far as vibrating hands, the first thing I would do is go lay down on the earth and see how you feel. Second thing I would do personally is go change locations. I noticed that the other day my house was vibrating and I was like, what is this? And I put my hands on the counter and I felt vibrations and I was like, wow, it's weird. But when you start to do that, ground to the earth first and just see how it makes you feel. And then be aware. If there is a dark one latched onto you, um, yeah, you would have send me a message. Just send in a message and we'll talk. Okay. Beautiful.
Yeah. Somebody said, "Has anyone noticed the sun is shining?" Yeah, the sun is shining more. It's
It's,
brighter.
oh yeah,
It's not
absolutely.
yellow anymore.
Like
And
white.
also, if you go sit outside, like, sometimes on a sunny day, there's, like, little rainbow specks everywhere.
Yes.
That's what I see. I
I've
don't.
noticed double rainbows. So we never saw that when we were kids. There's double
Yeah.
rainbows everywhere now, which is
Yep.
interesting. But you can notice, and if you really like focus, you could see rainbows in your eyelashes, you could see rainbows in the hairs on the body, and you could start to look on like a microscopic level, but not really like just super focus on it. You could start to see rainbow reflections coming off of a lot of different substances. So it's kind of
Yep.
like our eyesights are starting to open and expand, allowing
Mhm.
us to see the actual way that the energy radiates. Now,
Yeah.
me personally, and I know that this happens to several other people as well, when they look at the blue skies, you'll see sparkles, like it looks like snowflakes. Very, very like,
Mhm.
right, coming in and out. And what the star people told me was that's the ether that you're seeing. It's beautiful.
Well, I'm glad to know that's the ether because that's what I see all the time, and I'm like, "What's that?" And I tell my son, "Do you see that?" "No, I don't see it. What are you talking about?" "Oh, I
Yeah.
see it."
I'll see. So we have someone on TikTok that says, I felt my hands and feet vibrating as well. So you aren't alone. Whoever
Yeah.
said that they were feeling it. Yes, I think that also happens because I've had experiences where I felt like my whole body was vibrating. So, what does it mean if I have had the same dream
My
like three or
camera's
four
messing up.
times? What?
My camera is messing up.
It's Mercury retrograde. It's coming in hot. It's okay. Yes. So, having the same dream three or four times, anytime I've ever had, not even a reoccurring dream, if I wake up and I remember a dream, I'm doing my research. What does it mean? And then, you look in a couple different websites or get a dream book, see what the spiritual meaning is. Now, this also is relevant for every single insect, animal, and thing that you see. So if you're seeing something like, for example, if something is unalived, that usually means a cycle is coming to an end and a new one beginning. So today I saw, they had chopped down trees. And of course, we know the tree of life is each of us are a part of the tree of life. So when we see a tree, that means there's an aspect of life that is releasing. And then as I continued my walk, I saw like it looked like 100, not literally, but brand new baby trees being planted. So to me, I knew that synchronicity was okay. There was some that were released and there was some that were brand new and blossoming. So, but when we start to look at the dreams, when we start to notice, okay, what was it? Was it a tree? Google the spiritual meaning of the tree. Was it a raccoon? Google the spiritual meaning of the raccoon. Was it alive? What was happening to the raccoon? You Google all these things. Don't Google DuckDuckGo it, so it's safer. But you do your research and then you sit with it. How does it make you feel? Now, the websites and the books, they can say whatever they want. They're all a reflection of you. Your phone is going to give you a reflection of your consciousness. That's the way the technology is designed, but it's a blessing. Now, I could take the same synchronicity and I could Google that synchronicity on someone else's phone and I come up with a totally different answer. So use your phone when you're doing the research. That's important. However, you should also, how does it make you feel? So, how does that dream make you feel? Is it fearful? If it's fearful, you have to deep dive and do the shadow work and clean out the fear. Because any thought that causes any fear in your body, that means there's something there to explore. And the more we are able to poke and prod and go in deep and to clean out all of the emotions, any emotion that you're holding, it's a law of polarity. You're either holding darkness or you're holding light, and it all reflects outwards into a star field. That's the way the system is designed. Now, if you're holding darkness and that dream keeps coming to show you a fear, that means that you have to go into the fear, release that fear, and send love and light. This is a process of healing. We do this automatically by releasing the emotions. I let it go. I forgive. I send it love and blessings, and then it encodes it with light. There's also a point of neutrality that each and every one of us has to get to in that healing journey, which is when it's okay. It happened to me. It happened to me. Now I'm going to move past it. I'm going to love myself anyway. And that in turn, it allows the star field to go from a black node to a gray node to a white node. The more white nodes, we have to open 144 energetic nodes in the star field in order to be granted access into 5D. Now, that is only one aspect of it. What is this? TikTok. That is only one aspect. Oh, hold on one second. It wants me to put a puzzle piece together. That's only one aspect of it, because we also have, it's like very similar to a gate. It's on the top of the head. This is there's 12 different experientials that we have to clear. An experiential is any experience that you've gone through in your life multiple times. That experience may also, dear ones, be encoded from a past life. When they're encoded from a past life, you may have already done the work to heal that experiential. You must clear 12. The number 13 also resonates directly in the center of this and is the key directly into 5D. There is a form of energetic pulling that the individual will feel when this field is properly opened and flowered for access into the next octave range, which is where the higher self is located, shall be granted to the primary individual when the densities and distortions are healed. We wish for each of you to cover your heart with your hands and speak the words out loud. I love and bless my body.
I love and bless my body.
Now feel that unconditional love radiate through your entire being. Allow a 5D key to be activated in your energetic grid complex. Feel the love of your star families, for they all step forward for each of you right now. Thank you, Star. Yes.
You can't see me, huh?
I can't see you.
I don't know why my camera just stopped working.
Wait, let me see. Hold on. Instagram. Hold on. Let me see. Oh yeah, that's on your end. Maybe I can shift you off and on. I put her in the background. Hold on. Can you see me now?
I can see you perfect. My camera just stopped working. I don't know what's going on with
Well,
it.
mine's black too. That's so much fun.
It says Chrome is
Exactly.
using my camera and it's still not letting me on. It's like the light just disappeared.
That's so funny. That's okay. We'll roll with it. We have a couple minutes left anyway. So we had a question come in through, I think, TikTok or Instagram. It says, how can we remember who we are? We have memory grids. It's in a complex. It comes directly from the heart chakra. It is directly connected to your aura field. These memories, each individual may trigger through accessing your star field. Your star field is a combination of meridian and ley lines which intersect, generating a grid of sorts on the outer body. This star field, every single energetic node, contains the memory of any densities, distortions, or light encoded. You are able to activate the light in order to cast your consciousness forward, allowing access into the memory grids. However, dear ones, memory does not fully function the way you have been told. Your memory is summoned in the now moment for whatever it is that you need to remember. And therefore, dear ones, each memory is ever so fluid in its nature. You are able to remember things very independently as to your peers. And this is because the way that each individual flows light plasma through your star field changes or modifies depending on what alignments you currently are holding in a now moment. Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Excellent. Okay. Anybody else have questions? Can you see the questions at
I can
least?
see them. I see Elle says that the 3D matrix is looking so fake. Yes, it is.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Everything. I don't watch anything anymore. I don't even care
Mhm.
anymore about any of that.
Well, I care because
Oh,
the way to 5D is to heal the 3D reality.
yeah.
So you have to, and I had to go through the process too. I had to heal my life. I had to heal my body. I had to heal relationships. I had to forgive people. So to just chuck the 3D reality out, the baby with the bathwater, that would be, we shouldn't.
Well, I just don't watch it. I don't watch it.
Well, if we're talking about that matrix where it's the TV and the programming and all that, it's all a reflection. Now,
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time in nature, writing, saltwater
Mhm.
baths, attachments, healing, and focused on loving and blessing to the best of my ability without being perfect. Now, it's funny because like the star people have gifted me an entire toolbox of different healing modalities. And the process of living in 5D is very much stay in the now moment and follow your alignments. Follow what makes you feel good. So, doing in a healing modality, like say for an example, exercising every single day, you may have a day in which it's not in alignment. Maybe you're meant to rest. You have to follow your alignments. You have to really, in order to really, you just have to follow your alignments. See how it makes you feel. If it makes you feel good, do it again. Don't do it every single day. Allow you to change and go with the flow of life. When you wake up, you put your shoes on, put a happy face on, go see what the world has to offer you. The happier you are, let me tell you what happens in the density levels. And this is like miracle level, slam dunk. I've seen it. The density, the higher your density, your body starts to go through a crystallization process. The world outside you becomes beautiful. It becomes like shiny and glistening, and like the color spectrum is different. When we start, which we are already seeing this in the waking physical world, you know that there is about to be a major transformation in the consciousness of people because people are seeing into 5D. I've seen it. I know what it feels like. When you know what it feels like, you know what it looks like, that means that you have a key. The second that you have a key, you just have to hold that frequency. And the second, we know that the heart resonates this electrical magnetism outwards. So the more a person is able to hold that high frequency, it then starts a process of energetic blending with all individuals outside of them. This is also how each individual here works in a form of antenna. For each of you now has been encoded with a loving frequency. This love based frequency changes or modifies your energetic grid structure, allowing for that new frequency code to then resonate outwards, allowing other individuals to feel that love. You may not have to physically express love in order for them to feel it, for it is an energy that is encoded within your cellular matrix. As always, we always wish to speak about love, caring, and kindness. For it is through love that each of you shall open and activate your rainbow bodies of light. That, in turn, dear ones, allows for a higher density to fully wash over Mother Earth herself, therefore allowing Mother Earth the opportunity to shift her awareness into a eighth density awareness level. That is going to, in turn, reflect upon all beings on her planetary system. Thank you, star people.
Thank you, star people.
Yes. Yeah. That's interesting. How's everyone feeling? Is everyone good?
I feel great. I wish y'all could see me.
I know. It's okay. On my side of my screen, I never like the computer doesn't show me me. So I always see a black screen. I'm just like, it's okay.
Oh,
Yeah. Sometimes it's there on that like tiny little box. Yeah.
well, we've been on for like an hour, so
Yes. Excellent. Thank you guys so incredibly much for coming today. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching. If you're watching the replay, thank you, dear star people, for this beautiful channeling session tonight. Thank you for answering all the questions that the people had. If there are questions that you guys have and it did not get answered, please feel free to go to daniellelipton.com. No hesitations, just send an email over and send the question, and we'll either write about it on Facebook or we'll turn it into the next live stream. Thank you, Mary, for coming and helping us and for being a part of this. It is such a blessing and an honor to fully have you with us. And thank you for coming.
thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, guys. And everyone, you have many love and blessings. You have a wonderful night. Okay, let's see. I have to